Hey there, my name is James. I had zero technical knowledge before launching my AI automation agency, but I still managed to sign my first client within 60 days. So today I'll be showing you exactly how I did that. Over here is just the actual Upwork dashboard or homepage. When you're first signing up, or if you're making an account just now, I'll just ask you a bunch of questions about the type of work specifically that you're looking for. And then make sure that you're signing up obviously on a freelancer account and not a client account. So this is just what it looks like. So I'll just go over a little bit about the dashboard. So this was what I was talking about, the best matches versus most recent. These best matches, some of the jobs will be a little bit older. In this case, it's a little bit newer. There's not a lot of jobs being posted right now because it is the holiday season, but it's posted 38 minutes ago. AI agent, chatbot specialist, AI agent, AI automation, AI voice and agent development. This was the one actually I'll walk you guys through on how I'd go about applying to it if I wanted to. But another thing to note is that one, it was posted yesterday. So like I was saying, anything outside of an hour is something that I would never apply to. So in a real use case, I would not apply to this job because just take a look, 20 to 50 proposals. Um, I've seen jobs get 20 to 50 proposals, or even like this one, 50 plus, and some of them will be done in or have that in less than an hour. So it's just insane. So I'll take a look at this. I'd take a click on it. I'd read the summary. The summary is honestly a little bit vague for what I would like for applying to a job, but you could, in a way, leverage it to show that you kind of know what you're talking about. I'll show you exactly how I would go about doing that in a moment. But we'll just read over this. We are seeking a skilled developer to create a voice agent using retail AI. So that's exactly what I use. I use retail. The voice agent will be cold calling homeowners to see if they are interested in buying or selling a home. Okay, the ideal candidate will have experience in voice technology and AI frameworks. Your role will involve designing the voice agent's capabilities, integrating with our existing systems, ensuring optimal performance. If you have a passion for innovative AI solutions and can deliver, okay, so it makes sense. It's very straightforward and very, honestly, it's a lot better than what I expected to be for such a short proposal. Because what you'll find is a lot of people will just talk to ChatGPT for 5 minutes and then just spit it out in the job summary, and you'll even see all the emojis that chat likes to put behind all of its lists. So we'll apply to this job. I just want to touch on a few more things. So that's the best matches. The most recent will be like this one wasn't on the best matches because this is not the type of job that I really handle, like automation for onboarding. And you'll see a lot of people from different countries as well. So Germany, Moldova. I like to try and stick to US or Canada or the UK just because, again, voice agents, and I like to just stick with English speaking. I have actually built out agents for people in different countries, but with that, it just, there's a lot of friction that comes with time zones and then obviously language differences. That just makes it really difficult to be able to handle multiple projects at once when you have something that takes up so much time and energy. So this is the best example for a job that maybe I wouldn't apply to just because of the rating. So with this one, it's a pretty decent budget, $650 for an automation engineer, it's just for an audit and to optimize internal systems. But with that, I would take a look at why it is they have that. Okay, yeah, so that's exactly why I wouldn't apply to the job. People are just saying bad things about the person that's hiring, and then all of that, I wouldn't even waste my time because even if maybe they're wrong or whatever, it's just not worth the headache. And especially if there's more than one, since you saw like two or three of them that are 1 star, which is kind of insane. So I would not even waste my time applying to that. So now I'll just go over exactly how I would go about applying for this job if we would just assume that it wasn't a day ago and there wasn't 20 to 50 people applying to it. I realized I didn't touch on exactly how bidding works per se. With Upwork, the way you apply to jobs is you use something called Connects. You buy Connects. The rate for Connects isn't honestly too expensive. So it's like get 10 for $1.50. And then as you go up, then you can see the prices here. So you get a pretty good amount of Connects for, like, honestly, $45 is not a lot of money for the amount of value you could get. So you can just look at it as like what you're getting back. So if you apply to a bunch of jobs and you get only one and the budget is something like this, 1500, then that $45 is something that I'm sure you wouldn't bat an eye about spending $45 to get a $1,500 job. With that, I'll go on this here. So the way that it goes about bidding. So we'll just go to the apply. Let's see how people are bidding. So with every job, there's a set fixed amount on how much it costs to just apply to the job. in general, and then there's an amount that if you wanted to bid, then how much it makes sense to bid. So with this job, just to apply, just because of all the demand and how much people are applying to it, they raised the total cost. So the total or the regular cost to apply for the job would be 23 connects, even with zero bid. But if you wanted to bid to be in the top four, you'd have to bid at least 32 connects. So with that, this is the type of job I'm saying that one I wouldn't ever apply to just because of how many people have already applied to it, and just the bidding range is pretty high as well. So you'd be applying, like, let's just say I did that, like 57 connects for like a job that you're not even sure you would get. Not really the best thing I like to go about. So maybe you could take that gamble. Maybe you're confident, or maybe you really like the job and you could take that gamble. So we'll just go over exactly how I go about doing this. Another thing I want to touch on, and another reason why I probably wouldn't apply to this job, I don't like applying to hourly range jobs just because it's really hard to put a scope on the exact hours you're working to build an agent, because there's a lot of things that go into building the agent and making sure that it works out that aren't always covered in maybe billable hours. So I like to use fixed rate. Um, Maybe I'd apply to this job if it was in like the first 10 to 20 minutes, and then put that in my proposal, just talking about potentially trying to get them on a call, and then talking about potentially just having a set, not even a set rate, but just a fixed price for this project. But would go down. So like obviously if we were to apply this job, we'd just adjust our hourly rate. Since my hourly rate is above it, I'll just put it at something like, I don't know, like 20, let's just say 15 an hour just for simplicity's sake. Would do that. So Upwork takes a 10% service fee for every job you take, or not job you take, but like the amount of money you make. So then these are always here. The rate, I always put never to rate. Then when it comes to cover letter, I'll show you exactly how I go about writing my cover letter. Your cover letter is arguably the most important part of the process of applying to jobs on Upwork. So making sure that you have something that isn't necessarily repeatable. So I would recommend having some sort of template just so you have a baseline, but not to just spam out templates and just spam apply to jobs, because honestly that doesn't work. And that's the biggest thing that a lot of people that post jobs on Upwork see, is that they'll just see a lot of proposals or cover letters that look like spam. Like it was just either put just through ChatGPT, or is just super spammy with no personalization. So that's exactly why the Loom videos has become such a big thing. Honestly, the Loom videos are probably becoming a little bit more saturated and a little bit more common, but I still think it's a very good thing to do, just because again it shows that you took the time to actually read the proposal, and then make something specific. So I'll show you guys exactly how I go about applying to jobs. First, I'll take a look at my Upwork template. This template is very, very basic. I don't like to do too much, as I said earlier. With this, I change it a lot as I actually go about applying to the job. Like by the end, it probably won't look anything like this, but I like to have this as a baseline just to know where to go back to if I have no idea what to say. Once you do it enough and you apply to enough jobs, like knowing what to say, not only on the Loom videos, but on the cover letters, really does come natural. So what we can do, just for time's sake, is we'll take a copy of the job posting. We'll go into Claude just because I like the way it writes. We'll let it know, and then we'll just see what it puts. So, hey there, I recorded a 2-minute video showing you how to build a retail AI voice agent. I specialize in voice agent automation. For your project, I'd focus on, well, we could put something like this. Honestly, I would shorten this up a bit, but just for the video's sake, I'll just use this. We'll space it out again, and then I'll show you exactly how to go about filming my Loom video. So I actually went and just decided to use this instead. It's just shorter and resembles my template a little bit more, because I don't like to have super overly long proposals or cover letters, just because again I don't want to force them to read an essay and tell them my whole life story. And then we'll just say, okay, I'm confident I'm the best fit for your retail AI voice agent. I'll just say, you just say developer needs. Just recorded how to build it. I've worked with multiple businesses using specializing in voice agents. There's no cool platforms. This line here is really important. Although I'm new to Upwork, I'm an AI developer who specializes in voice automations. Just so when they're seeing your job, or when they're seeing your posting or your application to the job, they will see how long you, like your past jobs and all that. So if they see you have 0 jobs, obviously naturally as a human you would be like, okay, this person doesn't have any experience. So just taking that away before they even have a second to use it against you is very important. So you just let them know, okay, I'm new to Upwork, but I'm not new to the job in general. So that's just for the cover letter itself. When it comes to recording the Loom, I can't record the Loom while recording because it just won't allow me to record. So I'll just walk you through exactly how I would do it and the way I'd format my Loom videos. So the first thing I would do is I'd read over the job description, see if there's any system that I've built that resembles it in any way. If I haven't, then I'll go to Claude, I'll go to ChatGPT. I'll tell how can I build this out quickly. You don't have to build a completely end-to-end working system. You just need to build out something that looks like you know how it works. You won't be giving them a demonstration. You'll just be showing them that you understand the logic of how it works. So this is an example of something that I built previously, and this is exactly what I would show them if I was applying to this specific job. I would start off with something like this. Hey there, I came across your posting for this AI voice agent and development with retail. I'm being completely honest, I do jobs like this every single day, so it's my bread and butter essentially. So I actually went and built out a system just for you. So I'd go in, I'd show them how I built out the system. This specific system was a lead reactivation campaign, so it follows the same outbound logic with also SMS integration, if that's something you're interested in. So main thing with this is I just prompted it for real estate agents, which I know you're in the real estate industry as well, so I do have experience with them as well. With this agent, it just gives leads that have been sitting in the CRM for 6 months. It just rings them up and gives them a call and tries to reactivate them. I have it connected to my end-to-end workflow over here. It looks complex, but it's very simple. It just schedules once every morning, checks the CRM or Google Sheets if the lead has been sitting for over 6 months, creates the phone call, waits for a little bit, and then it gets the information from the phone call. And if that person if that person answered the phone, then it would just log the result and the call results and all the call information back into the CRM. If they didn't, it would then send them an SMS or a WhatsApp message and then update that in the sheet. So I'd love to get this done for you, just going over the scope of everything you asked for. Again, I'm sure this is something I can knock out of the park for you. So if you can respond to this job posting and then with a few times so I can hop on a call and we can just go over all the details and get this sorted. Have a good one. That's quite literally, I'd fix it up a little bit. I just wanted to show you guys exactly how my process was going through it. But that's essentially what I would say verbatim. I'd post the Upwork link and then I would apply to the job. This job, again, I wouldn't apply to it just because of how high it's bidding and how long it's been live, but I would apply to that, adjust my bidding and apply. When it comes to just going over the way that I go about recording the videos, when you're first starting off, it will be very, very difficult. There'll be times when you're essentially in flow state where you just kind of know exactly what to say, when to say it, and everything just comes natural without you having to think about it. But the first 10, 20 times that you do those Loom videos, it will be a hassle. And it's important that you stick with it and you don't quit. You'll want to quit and be like, what am I doing this for? But just keep going with it. And then, again, the way I explain it again is I probably would have liked to go a little bit more in depth about the nuances with this agent and then just the outbound capabilities. And then, yeah, that's just with that. And again, although it wasn't exactly the same type of automation that they're speaking about in their posting, it just represents that I have the general knowledge and the general understanding about how these outbound SMS or outbound voice agents work. I hope this video provided some clarity on how to apply for jobs on Upwork. It'd be extremely intimidating when you're first starting off. I experienced that as well. Times I wanted to quit, but I just kept it going. So if you had any other questions about applying a job on Upwork, how to write your proposals and your cover letters, or how to even get experience to feel confident about applying to jobs, just leave a question in the comments and I'll make sure to get back to it. If you want a more in-depth look on what it likes to build an agency from the ground up, starting at 0, then click the first link in the description to subscribe completely for free to my weekly newsletter. But other than that, I hope you have a good one and I'll see you guys tomorrow.